Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Today is going to be a beautiful day, and let me tell you why, because you never know who's going to walk through the I Am Beast studios. Today is, once again, no exception to the rule. Let me explain this journey of this young man. Indiana, Georgia, successful in Indiana, successful in Georgia, traveling around the world, explaining his pain, his struggles, and how he became successful. I'd like to welcome to the show, promoting a beautiful book called It's a Beautiful Pain, the one, the only, Donald, for sure, Martin. For sure.
For sure. Now, if it was a white people, we'd say for sure. Absolutely.
What's up, big dog?
Man, thank you, bro. I'm doing great, man. First of all, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to have me on your platform to be able to express who I am.
Okay. It's a beautiful pain. Before we get into this, tell a little bit about who you are, because you're originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, correct?
Yes. By the way, of Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
So I'm been here since high school.
Okay.
So I'm claim I'm a Hoosier.
What high school did you go to?
I went to George Washington High School.
Okay.
The best school.
Hey, I was
IPA school.
Okay.
Yeah, in the state. So I went to George Washington High School. I came here at the age of 13, moving from Flint. Flint was one of the worst cities to live in at that time. Still one of the worst cities to live in, and it was drug infested. And so my mom said I was headed that way, where I was going to be probably. It's only two things you did in Flint. You either played basketball or you sold drugs. So
really,
I was pretty good at basketball, but drugs, because I had my uncle was big time in that, rest his soul. But he was big time in that, and I wanted to be just like him. And my mother was like, nope, it's time to move to Indianapolis. I used to come to Indianapolis when I was younger because we had family. And I moved at 13 and been in Indianapolis from 13 to I've been gone 46 years of age. So, man, I'm a father of three.
you mentioned, slow down a second.
Yeah.
You mentioned Flint. You mentioned your uncle. You mentioned your mom. Was your father involved in your life during this part in Michigan?
No, my father, so I was born in Chicago. My father did come into my life later, until about 16 or 17 when I moved to Indianapolis. I actually met him physically at 16 years old. As far as I can remember, I was like 5 years old when I was with him.
Right.
But as far as knowing who he was and things like that, it came at 16. But he was never really just in my life. Once I met him at 16, it was kind of like, my father, but we didn't never have a relationship. We actually got a better relationship in 2016. He passed in 2017, but we actually got a better relationship ending as he passed away.
So when you moved back to Indianapolis, you said your mom relocated you to avoid the drug scenes, and I don't know too much about that part of Michigan. Is it really that bad?
Yeah, well, so in the 70s, first of all, GM, the car, GM, General Motors, is originated from Flint.
Okay.
So in the 70s, Flint was the Beverly Hills of the Midwest.
Okay.
So then in the 80s, when they took the plants and moved them to Mexico, in the 80s, then that's when crack was planted in Flint. And so then you had all these people that was living well. Now all that is stripped away from them.
Right.
And now
so it really was economic crash.
And then so when the crash happened, drugs came in, and then we had a lot of young men that you could make money in doing that. And so I seen that lifestyle. I seen my uncle come over to my mom. So my mom is the oldest. So my mom was 14 years older than my uncle. But my mom, everybody called my mom mom.
Right.
Like my grandmother called my mom mom.
Okay.
Like my aunts and everybody called my mom. So my mother was like the matriarch of the family. So everything came over to my mom. Like, so what, people wanted to go out, you bring your children over to, my cousins was like my brothers and sisters, because they would party, their parents would party, my mother didn't. So then they would come over to my home. So I would see my uncle come over, big old table. He'd bring hundreds, all the money he done made, and tell me like, nephew, get the ones out. And so I wanted to be like him. He had a nice home in the suburbs of Flint. He lived well.
Now, were they products of the General Motors company? Did they work for General Motors, your family?
No, they never worked. My family migrated from Chicago.
Okay.
But once again, they came in that right at the tail end of General Motors leaving,
trying to get in, but they had already boomed.
Right, because even when General Motors, then businesses leave.
Right.
So there was no job, no employment opportunities. So you seen the opportunity to be able to sell dope, and that's what it became a lavish lifestyle.
So then you wound up having to come to Indianapolis. Your mother said, enough is enough. I got to protect my son.
Yes, sir.
You have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, so I have three brothers. So let me go back. So my father had three children by three different women.
Okay.
So I have two sisters. With my father had three children. I'm the son. I have two sisters. I got a sister old enough to be my mother.
Wow.
Yeah, I got nieces and nephews. I got a niece and a nephew.
Wait a minute, let me hit you with this. It was the 3rd of September.
So and then with my mom, she had 4 boys all together. They had, my 3 brothers had the same father. I had a different father, but she raised all of us up together.
Was there ever any, because I'm kind of in that same scenario, and it's funny because I knew my 3 sisters' father. I knew my baby brother's father, but nobody knew my father.
Oh, that's tough.
I mean, but we managed to not let that divide us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
How was it with you?
So that's a great point, because so my father, I have my father's first name, Donald. My father's last name is Mathis.
Okay.
So my brother's last name is Martin. So my mother was like, I don't want my sons to have different last names.
Okay.
So she kept me as a Martin, because their father wasn't in their life. He was one where he paid child support, but he was never in his life, because they even called him father. Like he was a stern guy, but he was never in.
He wasn't there emotionally.
But he wasn't even there physically as well.
Really?
Because my mother had 3 children at the age of 18, because my oldest brother, and we'll get into that to him, and then she had identical twins. But they was all the same. They was considered Irish triplets, because they was all the same age for 25 days. So my mother married, his name is George, married George, Mr. George, her father, when she was 18. Then when she married him, he was abusive to her and everything like that. And so she left, and then she met my father like 9 years later, because my brothers are like 8, 9 years older than.
Okay, that's a big age.
It's a big age, because, my mother 18, having children, and then she met my father, and my father is 10 years older than my mother. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have a sister that is, I think she's 65.
Wow.
So she'll turn 65. She turned 65 soon. So,
wow.
That being said, so when that came about, we never had. So my mother just raised a single parent in Flint.
Okay.
So when she raised us in Flint, that's all we knew. All we knew is being raised in Flint. But then my brothers was older, so when I'm 13, 14, they 20, 21. Okay. So they out the house. Right. So then she's like, well, it's time for us to move to Indianapolis. We came to a funeral in 1989 in February, to a funeral. My great uncle passed away, and we had the repast, and she's like, you know what, son, we're gonna move here. And I was glad, because I was failing 8th grade. Mm-hmm. I hated school. I was getting bullied, and the only thing I knew what I was gonna do is I'm gonna join my uncle. That's my mindset, right? And I'm gonna do what I do.
What about your brothers at the time? I know when you say they were in their 20s and stuff, their mindset probably isn't there. Did they help you? What was their response when your mom decided to relocate you to Indianapolis? Because you still have that family family ties.
Yeah, so they was good with it at first because they was good with it because the thing is, great thing I credit my brothers, they was hustlers. They did a lot of dirt in life. Mm-hmm. But me being the younger one, they say, baby bro, we're not gonna let you do what we do. There's something different about you. You got something on your life, and we don't know what it is.
But they know, yeah.
But you're different. So we're gonna do all the dirt, we're gonna do all the stealing, we're gonna do everything, and we'll bring you back the benefits of it.
Right.
But we're not gonna let you get involved. And we were so close because at one time we would be like, good night, God bless you. And we would call each other, no matter where we was at, we would call each other, good night, God bless you. We always say, and it's funny because I still say that to people that, be like, well, good night, God bless you. People laugh, but that's what was instilled in me is to do that. So we was real close. So they was happy. They was like, get baby bro out. Because at the time, my uncle was still living at the time. He was still doing his thing in Flint, but he lived in Atlanta. So he had got so big that he had probably like 20-something workers for him.
Wow.
And so he was able to run in Flint from Atlanta. And then as we moved there, he got some federal time. He went back to Flint, and he ended up doing some federal. He was in federal for like 13, 14 years. So it was kind of like something. Looking at that, I thank God that my mother was like, I got to get you out of this environment, because that's all you did. I mean, did you have a strong family tie here, at least somewhat, because your great uncle passed? So were there roots here? Yeah, it was roots here. So you growing up in a black family, your mother or your father's first cousins is literally like your aunt or your uncle. I mean, they your first, they your second or third cousin, but they kind of like your aunt. You still call them auntie, even though that's your cousin. Right. So I had my cousin Willie, but he was more like my uncle, and his wife, and I talk about it in the book as well. They would bring me, I used to cry a lot, so they would take me from Flint, bring me down for Christmas or the summertime to spend time with them, and so I had ties with them. Okay. I was like their son. So you really started to develop that deeper family value sense now, and how do you now navigate going through school and getting your life in the direction that your brothers are seeing for you as well as your mom? It was hard because I felt abandoned, I felt rejected. So family, I had my mom. Like that's all I knew was my mom. Like even when I worked, I would give my mom 85% of my check, because she needed it. Even when I was pretty good at basketball. I ended up, my senior year, made the basketball team, but I had to quit. What side of town did you live on? I lived in 34th and Capitol. Because I've been ready to say, the school you went to is closer to downtown. Yeah, it's by the zoo, going over that way, west side of town, not too far from Hallville. So you're talking about Washington Street, right? And like Belmont over that way. So you didn't grow up in Hallville. You grew up way right. I grew up on 34th and Capitol, but I knew a lot of people in Hallville from school, but also I went to church in Hallville, and my best friend at the time lived in Hallville. So I was like I would go to Hallville a lot, but I wasn't from Hallville. I get you. Okay. Yeah. So you wind up going to school and stuff, and you mentioned that you felt abandoned. Meaning what? I had no direction. Like my mother had to work. So, I was kind of like a latchkey kid, you know what I mean? Like I'd come home, my mother was working, and then, I had no friends. Yeah, I had to fend for myself, had no friends really. I mean, growing up poor, nappy head, big lips, dirty clothes in some cases, I wasn't liked, And that's how people say, how did you become a comedian? Right. Because I had to be funny. Like when you was on the bus, people joning, you better learn to be funny, because I had to learn how to fight. Or I fight, and I wasn't a fighter. I'd never been a fighter, because it's not that I couldn't, but I was afraid what could happen to me, but I was also afraid what I could do to another individual. Makes perfect sense. Because of my abandonment, my rejection issues, because of my being bullied. I had anger, but I had suppressed anger. I knew how to make it a joke about it, and I could be mad.
I was just getting ready to ask that. How do you take all of that energy, negative energy almost, and harness it? And then, more importantly, when did you decide to work on releasing it in a positive way and through comedy?
So what you learn, that energy, it's like you two different people. It's like sometimes it's an out of body experience. Because even when I look at my comedy now, I don't believe I'm doing it. You know
Really?
what I mean? I look like I don't believe people pay me to be funny. Like, I mean, I'm going to Gary, all these, I'll be on the plane and I'll be looking at the other planes. I'm a kid from Flint, Michigan, from Indianapolis, Indiana, grew up poor, grew up with nothing. Now, so that's the first, so then it's like an out of body experience for me. So then I use all my pain and make a joke about it. And I'm like, so let me give you an example. My oldest brother, George, he was murdered in the '07. Murdered by his. I told you we have different fathers, so it was his cousin on his father's side. It was his cousin's boyfriend that murdered him. So I knew that I was on my way. You talk about anger and all like that. I was on my way to wreak havoc on because I knew who they were.
Okay.
And the police to stop me on 38th and Mid-Offer. I'm going 100 miles per hour at 8 a.m. on March 30th, 2007, and the police stopped me in my tracks because I knew where they lived at. They lived on 46 and Post Road. I'm on 38th and German Church.
That's right around the corner.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My mom, to hear my mom screaming on the phone, they killed George. And George is every bit of 5'2", 125 pounds. You could have beat him up and he'd have been all right, you know what I mean? But you had to stab him to death. So I have a whole joke about my brother being murdered. When we went to because my whole family has a sense of humor. When we went to the funeral home to do like the arrangements, we joking and laughing because we remember the great times. We decided we're not going to allow March 30th, 2007 to define who our son was.
That's pretty deep.
So we said, no, that's not going to define them. We had too many great times. We're not going to let this tragedy stop us from the great times we had together. So we in there joking, we coming up with jokes, and they sitting around there like, wait a minute, did I read this right? Your brother was murdered, your son was murdered. We never seen a family like y'all coming here after something tragic happened like this, because we use our jokes. So I came up with a joke. My brother, he owed me money. And there was always a saying, as long as I owe you, you'll never be broke. You ever heard that before?
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Yeah. No, as long as I owe you, you'll never be broke.
Yeah.
My brother owed me money. So I always say, because my brother owes me money, he can't give it back, I'll never be broke. And so I did that joke, and I added some more stuff to it, but people laughed, and people came up to me and was like, did that really happen to your brother? I said, yes, because we learned how to use all that pain and make it into a story. And it's just like, it really did happen,
right?
But it didn't happen.
How close were you with this particular brother?
So we became, he was like 9 years older than me. We was becoming closer. Because I used to, so my two older brothers, the two twins, we all used to live in Indianapolis because they did eventually move to Indianapolis.
Okay.
So, but we used to hang around each other, and even when I used to come over to their house, they used to smoke weed and drink. When I would come over, George would be like, my older brother passed away, he would be like, hey, baby bro coming over.
Yeah.
Like, put it up. We got to respect him. Because I was a minister at the time, he said, we got to respect him. So
he was a minister. We're getting to that in a minute.
Yeah. So, still minister, just in a different way.
Okay.
But so then, before he passed away, I used to deliver papers at night. So he would be on the paper route with me.
Wow.
At times. This particular time, I think it was on a Thursday. So normally I would have him come Thursday night, or he would do Sundays because that's the biggest time you get your papers. Thursday, because the coupons, people get papers on Thursday, and people get papers on Sundays because them the two biggest newspapers you get. So normally it'd be like George, but we call him Smoke. So Smoke, hey man, can you come deliver these, help me deliver. And one particular time, I think that Sunday before he was murdered, I said, bro, can you come on, let's do these papers. He said, nah, not today, baby, bro. And then my daughter got sick, and when my daughter got sick, she went over to my mother's house. My mother used to watch my daughter, if my children or whatever, and George was over there, and that was the last, 2 days before he was murdered, that was the last time I saw him. So we was close in a sense, but we was getting closer because we was spending time together because the other brothers had moved on to other cities.
How do you take all of this, success is coming to you now? It's two-part. I'm going to ask the first question first. When success first happened to you, you're now taking your craft, you're working with it. When you first did your performance and saw the reaction from the viewers, because just like any career, you got to walk out there and do it first.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was like a drug. Because remember, I dealt with abandonment and rejection.
Right.
I'm good at something. They like me. They like me for my jokes. So you become, it's just, oh, wow. I was funny in high school. I had to become funny. I was goofy. I was a class clown. I was all that. But now I'm on stage. It's still unbelievable. 22 years later, 'cause I've been doing it 22 years. Right. 22 years later, I'm still like, wait a minute. I'm doing this. People call me. I talked to a lady yesterday, been knowing me when we worked at JCPenney together in 1994.
Right.
She said, I never knew you would be this person. She said, because you wasn't funny when I first met you. You know what I mean? So, but
you probably hear that a lot from people too, don't you?
Well, my mama be like, you ain't funny. but you, one thing about success is a lot of people don't believe it until it happens.
Okay.
But they will tell you, I always knew.
Yeah.
You have people say, I always knew, and then them be the funniest ones because it's like, but you never supported, you never came to anything, you never. But I understand the idea, because we live in a society that's two type of people. If you tell a person that you're about to do something, you get two type of people. Let's see type of people, and let's go type of people.
Right.
That's what it is. Some people are like, oh, you're going to be a comedian? You're going to write a book? You're going to do this? You're going to travel all over the world? Let's see. And then some be like, let's go. I got you. I believe in you. What do you need me to do? Well, I got people that believe in me. I just got my own shoes just designed yesterday.
Get out of here.
Man, listen, I'm sitting like, God is real, man. People, I had people call me and I just made this amount of money. I made this amount of money in my job. I got extra. Tell me what you need. And this has been times where on this journey where I needed it. Because you gotta understand, just a little backdrop when we talk about the success, where I'm at now. In 2022, March 1st, I left a $200,000 job.
Wow.
Remember what we talked about? Coming from Flint, grew up in poverty. I had a $200,000 job. I was a finance manager for a dealership. I was heading in 5 to 7 years. My goal was to have my own couple of dealerships.
I remember that, yeah.
So understanding, in the state of Indiana, there's only right now 3 African-American owned dealerships.
Right.
My goal, because I know it now, my goal was I'm going to be the 4th or the 5th one. I talked to the minority dealership president, big time, and he's big time. He's on the board of Ball State University.
How important was it for you to take a risk on yourself? Based on, your life, the passing of your brother, you go back and you reflect a lot. I get it. You with the car dealership, but when did you decide, hey, I'm gonna really focus on me, myself, and I?
What happened was in 2022, you get your W-2s. I got my W-2s like in January. I seen all that money I made. I wasn't happy.
Well, say that again, because I think a lot of people need to hear exactly what you just said.
So we're gonna listen. I was making so much money. Whoever this is for, whenever you listen to it, whether you listen to it in a month or you listen to 10 years, I was making so much money. I got my W-2s. And I looked at all that money I made and I wasn't happy. So then that's when I said, it has to be more to life than this. Home, I had the home, big TV, 80-inch TV, basketball, NBA style basketball court, half court in my backyard. Had a gazebo, we watched movies. Me and my wife at the time, we fed July 4th of 2020. We fed over 100 people with us and another neighbors. We fed over like 100 and something people in our neighborhood for the 4th of July. Had fireworks and everything. Like I said, we collaborate. I sit back, so I'm balling. You know what I'm saying? I go, never looked at the menu, never looked at anything at that time. But when I got my W-2s and said, it gotta be more to life. But I didn't know I was gonna quit March 1st. Right. I got it in January. I just like, it's gotta be more to life than this. And I knew then, I gotta change. I gotta do something different. I had a store at the time, Sweet Treats on Martin Street, inside the Urbana Plaza. I had a store inside, so I was like.
So you you've always had an entrepreneur mindset.
Always, because.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
You've always had that mindset.
Always, because my entrepreneurship was always for the people. My whole goal in life, even doing this comedy, I'm bringing 3 comedians with me. Gonna have a videographer there to video. They getting professional Hollywood type taping for them. Now, my success, I could do an hour worth of material. And plus they're performing in front of 2,000 people in Gary, Indiana. Now, me, I could do it all by myself, get up there, do my thing, do like an hour and chop it up. And I said, but it's not about Donald Martin. It's bigger than me. So I always think about the next individual because I dealt with abandonment, I dealt with rejection, and I never want anyone to feel like I felt. So whoever, and when I come in the presence of anybody, whether it's the janitor, whether it's the president, whether it's someone, you see people like at the airport that's pulling the trash and all, I speak to them. Them are my main people I speak to, and not just, hey, how was your day? Anything I can do for you. What's going on? I'm a jokester and I'm a people person. Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you. I was here last week. Yeah. Man, I see the way you was moving. Let me go. You know what I mean? So my entrepreneur is always about how can I be impactful and benefit someone else? Because that's all I'm here for. I am here to make to help someone's day to be better.
There's a lot of your emotions in this book. Yeah. How much of that emotion do you bring to the stage?
Oh man, I bring a lot of emotion, pretty much all that. I mean, I have cried on stage. Because even when I go out there and I see all these people and they laughing, I stop in the middle of my jokes and be like, man, I just appreciate y'all laughing. You know what? You ain't have to come here. You could have been anywhere today, but you came to hear me. Yeah. Like I got people in Gary right now. That's why it's emotional. Like on my way there, I'll probably be crying till I get there. And then to think that I got people that is like, I want to buy your book. And then I got my videographer. She does T-shirts and stuff. Shout out to Terry Cronin. She does all that, and so she created a whole T-shirt line for me just for Gary. Right. She said, you don't owe me anything. I'm doing this for you. Right. So my emotions, it's really on there because my emotions is more, I get to see these 3 comedians that's on my team. I'm more excited for them because I feel like a father as far as in the comedy game, because I'm going to get to see them on stage, and I want to see their reaction when they walk out there and they see 2,000 people.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm gonna sit back in that, back in the back room and be like, yes, kill it. Be so funny. Be so funny when I get up. I don't even care if they laugh at me.
Wow, that's deep.
Because it's not about me.
A lot of people don't even say that. That's been on the show. That's a key word. It's not about me. And I think we get so caught up into our everyday thing, and we're so involved in self-preservation that we forget those 3 words. It's not about me.
Because that's how you because the blessing is when I see you succeed, when I see you succeed, when I see anyone. Because at the end of the day, we have to understand, especially as people, what God has for you, whatever is for you, is for you. It was designed just for you. So it doesn't matter. It's enough on the table. Like even the platform you have, it's a lot of people doing podcasts.
Right.
Podcasts are going up every day.
Every single day.
But you could have easily been like, man, I don't want to do this no more. It's already saturated. But you have an audience, whether it's 10 or 10,000. It doesn't matter. Somebody may not see this podcast 2035.
Yeah.
But that's when they need to see it.
Boom. Boom. That was deep.
Right. That's when they needed to see it. Because all we're doing is planting seeds.
Right.
That's all we do. Somebody else will come along. Like you have children?
Oh yeah.
So you can tell your child something and they act like they ain't never heard. They act like you from an alien, and then they can go to school or they can go have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. They say the same thing you saying, and all of a sudden they got an epiphany. Oh my God, I can't believe they told me this. And you looking like,
didn't I tell you that?
I told you that a long time ago. But understand, what you just did is we plant seeds. And so that's my goal. Like I said, I'm more excited for them. Like, I'm going to take pictures with them and like, hey, they doing their thing. They was hilarious. And so that's what keeps me with my success. My success is never to say I'm successful. My success is to tell you and show you, and with my journey, you can do it. It can be done. I'm just want to be that tangible person. I know you didn't see Tyler Perry. I know you didn't see Oprah. I know you didn't see them on TV.
Right.
But I want to be that tangible person where you can call up and say, I have people call me all the time. I need advice. Well, I know you're too busy. I'm never too busy.
Right.
I need advice. I need to know how to do this comedy show. I need to know how to do this business. I need to know how to work on this comedy. Like even with my book, I have people, they say, you're a different person, because I hold myself accountable in that book. I went through 2 divorces.
That's kind of deep when you say you hold yourself accountable.
Because when it says, the book is, it's a beautiful pain, I'm the beautiful pain. Understand? At the end, you'll find out the beautiful pain. I went through molestation. I went through rejection. I went through the law system. I went through all these things, but I went through 2 divorces. I went through all the rejections, but I can't blame. I'm 48 years old. When you going to stop blaming people? When you going to stop blaming because your daddy went in your life? When you going to stop blaming? My mother was told to have an abortion. It's in the book. When you going to stop blaming? Then when I began to look at myself in the mirror, that's the last chapter, mirror, mirror. I looked Donald Martin in the mirror and I said, you're pain, but you're beautiful.
That's deep. Before we wrap up, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show.
I'm honored.
And sharing not only It's a Beautiful Pain, but the fact that you're a beautiful life. And the fact that you said some empowering words here that, heck, I'm about ready to start crying. But now you're down in Atlanta, real quick. What's that like for you down in Atlanta?
Man, it's like Black Hollywood. but the entrepreneurship, just to see our culture down there, to be able to see where you just see the culture of progressiveness, being progressive, and so I love it down there. The thing is, this is the funny thing about Atlanta. I don't know how long I'll be down there. I'm just on assignment.
Okay.
It's not my final destination.
I like the way that was said.
Yeah, it's just my assignment, because you got to understand in life. This is one thing, and I want you, whoever's listening, to understand this. On this journey, there is never an arrival. So that's what you got to understand. Even in your lows or your highs, you got to understand, even when you high, there's still somewhere else to go. Even when you low, there's still somewhere else to go. So that keeps me balanced.
Right.
Because even in the success now, I'm not caught up in, oh my God, this is it. I'm caught up in what's next.
Before we wrap up, I know you're going to be back and forth in Indianapolis, so my door is always open.
Yes, sir.
Before we wrap up, I only give this to certain individuals that can definitely motivate me to a whole different level. I'm going to let you close the show out for me.
So listen, if you, my heart is for you, whoever you may be. I want you to understand that no matter what you've been through in life, no matter what's been said about you, no matter what you've been dealing with, rejection, abandonment, divorces, miscarriages, abortions, I don't care what you've been through in life. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what I done read, I'm not telling you what I done heard, I'm not telling you what I done seen on TV. I'm telling you from experience. Become who you already are. That successful individual is already in you. I dare you to go to the mirror and look at yourself and look into the soul of your eyes and say, I'm becoming who I'm already are. Love you. Let's do it. I believe in you. I don't have to know you to believe you, but I believe in you. And my name is Donald Martin. They call me for show, and I'm just honored to be on this platform. God bless.
Donald, how can the individuals get a copy of this book? And we book you for speaking engagements?
Yes.
How can they do that?
So it's a Beautiful Pain. You can go to, it's called beautifulpain.net. You can go there, or you can go to Amazon, and it's a Beautiful Pain. So beautifulpain.net. That's an autograph copy. And then if you want to go to Amazon, just go to Amazon and look up It's a Beautiful Pain. You can get it there from there as well. So speaking engagements, I actually open up. If you want to book me, you can reach me at 317-701-5278. I do travel. And I'm just looking for the opportunity to share what God has done for me. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode with the one, the only, Donald, for sure, Martin, on the Andre The Beast Crayton.
The Beast.